ready to enter the survival horror.
Resident Evil 1.
Yep, this is
Remake.
again.
Remake.
They are addicted to remaking this game.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like, check this out. I mean, okay, this is the remake of the original GameCube version that came out in, like, what, 2002, 2003, something like that. And I think the original came out in 1996, maybe 1998.
That sounds about right.
So, but like, okay, the first thing that I have to say, which makes me extremely happy, is tank controls are now optional as opposed to mandatory.
So, like, if you're a masochist or something, you can choose to have
Yeah,
tank
I mean,
controls.
this may be before your time or not. I don't know.
Oh no, I played Silent Hill quite a bit, so I'm used to those tank controls.
Okay, see, because it's like,
them.
now it's like she's just going wherever it is that I aim the controller at, as opposed to that whole slowly rotate to the left or right before you can march off in that direction.
Yeah, the early days of 3D control.
Yeah, the graphics obviously are like, the interesting thing about this is that, okay, some scenes like the one that we're looking at now, for whatever reason they've actually given Jill, like, breast physics now. So she jiggles.
It's a Japanese game. They're gonna have some breast
That's true,
physics.
it's Japanese, yeah.
Hold on, move slightly forward. Anything she does,
Yeah, she jiggles. So
it's just gotta reset.
Yeah. But the interesting thing about this is that, okay, so if we look at this particular scene here, they're doing this old school traditional Resident Evil in that Jill is a 3D polygonal object, but the actual environment itself is actually pre-rendered.
Oh, really?
It's not actually 3D.
I did not know that.
Okay, so
that is actually a really cool detail.
Yeah,
There's a
okay.
shiny thing there.
Yeah, that's of course your typewriter ribbon. It's like, of course.
Oh,
it's
so
like,
they did go all out.
They kept that, yeah. It's like,
Nice.
except for me, it was like, no, wait, this is all wrong. It's like, the typewriter's not actually supposed to be here in this dining room. It's supposed to be like over here in the main hall.
Okay, so they have made some changes.
Yeah, they've made quite a few changes for people
they changed the dialogue.
They did.
I think you'd better take a look at this.
Yeah, this, like, even though they're saying all this stuff with better voice acting, I'm still hearing the original voice acting in my head, where it's like, it's like, it looks
Jill.
like blood.
See if you can find any other
See if you can find any other clues.
I'll be
I'll be
examining
examining this. Hope this is not Chris's blood.
Oh damn! Yeah, you
But,
know this game. I was hoping that it'd be like the original stuff when the first words that pop up on the screen when you start this is "Enter the survival horror."
See, so now let's just go in here because it's like, anybody that's played this game, okay, everything is playing out the way it originally did in the 98 version.
But if someone is a purist about the 98 version, there is no Jill sandwich anymore.
Yeah. So you go down here, it's like, I'm not going to bother wasting any bullets. You turn the corner, and what do we have? Hey, our first cutscene, which is actually at a lower resolution than the game.
Yep, this does not look as good.
Because they could not, I guess, find the original, higher res version, so they had to make do with like the original GameCube version or something like that, I guess. But it's a very strange thing when the pre-rendered cutscenes in the game are actually at a lower resolution.
Yeah,
than the
that's
real-time
such a
graphics
weird
of
thing
the
when I see these in games. How is the shooting in this game compared to the original?
The shooting is pretty much the same.
Okay.
So, yeah, those mechanics haven't changed.
What is it?
Look out! It's a monster!
It's a monster!
Barry,
Let me take
please.
care of it.
Let me take care of it. And then just with his Magnum.
I mean, like they did change a lot to it. There's
His
some
Magnum, by the way, is really powerful,
I found
especially
Kenneth
against living
killed
things.
by this thing.
Except that he's shooting at
What's your plans to
zombies, so
Wesker?
it's like I don't know why he even said that for
Yeah.
the purposes of this game. But okay, let's go out and find Wesker, and they're not going to be shouting out Wesker, which is too bad because I also really loved how bad that line is. It's like,
They changed some of it, but some of the game still seems a little goofy, which is kind of cool.
yeah, I mean it's like they've improved the voice acting somewhat, but it's still not on par with like a Nolan North Troy Baker joint. So.
You think that takes away some of the soul of like what people remembered from the old games?
I think it does because I really enjoyed the bad voice acting. It was like, it's like the worse it got, the more I enjoyed it.
Let's not leave this hall.
Oh, and see, now here's another one. This just kills me. This part over here. Okay, first we'll do the mandatory thing, which is he says, take a look around the hall. This is also different from the original PlayStation version. There wasn't this stuff over here. This is like new to the GameCube. So we come in and now we get this cutscene over here, which it's like, oh man, it breaks my heart.
Nothing.
What we're getting
What's
into,
going on
this
around
is the
here?
part
I can't figure
where
it out.
Barry
Same
is
here.
supposed to give to
Chris,
Jill,
and now
the
Wesker.
master of unlocking, a
Not
lockpick.
much we can do.
And like I said, coming up where I did not play the first Resident Evil. I know all of these scenes you're talking about
Okay,
just
then
because
I'll
it's
try the door on the other
See
side.
now, yeah, see because now, like, you know, okay, this mansion is gigantic.
Lost.
Let's start from the first floor.
Okay.
But now, here we go. It's like,
It's a lockpick.
you'd better take
You'd make
this.
better use
Maybe you, the master of unlocking, will find a use for it. But he doesn't say that. Instead, he just says that I know that you'll make better use of it because,
yeah.
you know, it's like,
I
again,
may
you know, it's
need
like once the internet blew up and people started
Something
making
happens.
comments about just how
Let's meet
ludicrous
up in
this
this
stuff
hall.
was, I guess Capcom got embarrassed and so they.
I would keep it though, because I mean, at a certain point, you have to understand like people remember this part about the
Yeah.
game. This is what is
Yeah.
how they want to
Like,
remember it,
it
too.
Really, I mean, it's like I was sitting here and I was waiting for it, and then he didn't say you,
Yeah.
the master of unlocking, and I was just like, oh man, really?
So, I mean, we've said a few things that that you're rather disappointed with the remake. Are you enjoying it?
I am enjoying it.
Okay.
It's like, especially since it's like I actually did not play the GameCube remake.
Right.
You know, it's like I only ever actually played the original PlayStation 1, you know, it's like 98 version. So one, you know, it's like I was impressed by these graphics, even though they're, you know, it's like GameCube era just brought up to HD. Two, there are like a lot of little changes which totally caught me off guard. Like this moment over here, my wife was cracking up when I was playing this because I thought this is going to be just like the original PlayStation version where you just go up, you check out the door, and it gives you some text saying it's not safe to go out there because there are
Right.
monsters. So I just ran up expecting to get that to happen. But instead, no. She opens the door, there are dogs outside, and one of them actually comes in, and now you're like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, there's a dog in here. That
That's a-
didn't
that's a
happen
cool
in the original
change, though.
version. Yeah, so I was like, what am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do if the dog is here?
She doesn't know how to shoot. She's just like, do I shoot forward or do I shoot the floor?
Yeah. It's like, get it off. Oh my god. Just,
That's one thing that I don't think really translates well. That the way she shoots here, where she just only has two stances, like
Yeah.
straight forward, straight down.
so yeah, it's like, you know, I wasted
Yeah.
a lot of bullets the very first time I played this game because I was not expecting those dogs to come in.
Yeah.
It didn't happen in the original version. It took me completely off guard. And then, you know, again, when I wandered down here, unfortunately the sound is turned off for us, but
Right.
if you go and you examine this part over here, there's actually like some female moaning and groaning that's actually coming from the stairwell, and it sounds really creepy.
Okay. And then it's
so-
like slowly just writing
Yeah.
that text on there
Yeah.
too.
So, you know, it's like, again, it's like, oh, well, okay, you know, it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's new. What's going on there? So it's not just a straight up port with HD graphics. Well, okay, it is a straight up port of
Yeah.
the GameCube version, but since, you know, the GameCube wasn't exactly the most popular console around,
Nope.
I think that there are actually a lot of people, like myself, who did not get to play that version. Like, you know, even this, like, you know, now suddenly there's a door in the middle of the stairway
Yeah.
that you can go into that just, like,
If
you
this
know,
is the way
lets you
they-
out onto, like, you know, this graveyard area where
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't remember this from the original version.
It's just what you said earlier though just made me think the remakes on the GameCube of PS1 games. There was also the Metal Gear one, which apparently
Twin Snakes.
Twin
which
Snakes
was done
entirely
by
different
Silicon
almost.
Knights.
Yeah. Like a
Yeah.
lot of stuff changed to that
Yeah,
one as
I
well.
actually did play that one. The biggest changes were in the cutscenes.
Yeah.
They
He
went
was like
absolutely-
riding missiles and stuff.
Yeah, they went
Yeah.
absolutely crazy in the cutscenes where Snake became like some super mega ultra action hero that was
Yep.
doing all kinds of physics defying things. It was completely amazing.
Which almost seems more in line with the way that series went in the end. So I have a question. Like every time you open the door, I know the loading screen is just always a door opening.
Mm-hmm.
How many of the Resident Evil games you played?
I have played Resident Evils 1 through 5.
Okay.
I haven't played the 6th one.
During those animations, have there ever been a time where like a zombie's popping out during the? Okay.
No, they've never done that.
Because I remember I played a couple of them. I think I played like Code Veronica, the second game, and the fourth one, and it kind of took the tension away. Because like at first I was like, oh crap, anything behind this door when it's doing this, and then I realized nothing was ever going to happen. So
No.
it took a lot of like.
I mean,
Like-
during the PlayStation era, they
I was
did
a
it just
child,
to,
but
just,
still.
They did it just to hide the loading. That's the only
Yeah.
reason that
It was
did
a
that.
cool back then. That was a really cool way to do it.
You know, it's like, yeah, now they're just doing it, you know, out of convention because,
Yeah.
you know, this is a remake of the original, so
All right. So can you investigate his body?
yes, you can. It looks like he's holding something. Look at that, a VHS tape!
Yep.
How about that? Videotape, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, it's like making
Oh, so they don't
special
have the
guest
live
appearances.
action intro to this anymore.
No, they don't. No,
Oh, that
it's
was-
pre-rendered. It's pre-rendered CG. It is no longer live action. That was hilariously
Yeah.
bad.
Wasn't she like just laughing during it because you didn't know how to act in it?
I remember specifically
God,
the
that jiggle
Jill
is just-
Valentine
yeah.
actress. she was actually smiling while
Yeah.
they were running for their lives, which just killed me. I was like, that was just totally amazing to me.
That jiggle physics is so dumb.
Is there? Oh, there we go. Okay, there a time-honored tradition in Resident Evil. Let's. Oh yeah. Okay.
Get
Not a
some
moment too soon
herbs.
because I'm already in the yellow. So yeah, let's just go into the menu and do the Resident Evil classic of like, let's combine things. I know I should be combining, red with green, but
No, this
since I don't have it
you
yet,
just grind it up. It looks like it too. It looks like she's about to roll herself a nice spliff. There's a guy on the floor there.
Yep. I've already forgotten what's up here. Okay.
This is Wesker's
Oh,
house, right?
Actually, no. I mean, I guess,
I don't know.
I guess we're not going into spoilers now, since
Okay.
it's like this game came out in the '90s, but it's not Wesker's house per se. I mean, it is, it's like the Umbrella, labs.
Oh, okay.
for
I know there's
the
stuff like
virus, yeah.
underneath it, but I mean, like the veneer that they show is just like Wesker's home. I don't know what this mansion's supposed to be.
Yeah, I don't think Wesker's family actually owns it, but then again, it's like I haven't actually been following too closely on my Resident Evil lore.
Right.
I mean, I remember most of the stuff about Umbrella. Can't remember too much about Wesker himself. But yeah, let's do some of the puzzle solving. We'll just go back through this door.
What do you feel about the puzzles in the Resident Evil series?
Playing through this game again, I had actually forgotten how puzzle-oriented the original Resident Evil was, especially when you compare it to something like Resident Evil 5, where it's like, there's just so much shooting and stuff like that. So, but I actually did like the puzzle-solving component, and in particular, and this is one of the reasons why I think Resident Evil is, rightfully hailed as a classic in the genre, is because the house itself is essentially like a big puzzle box. It's very Metroidy that way, in that you've got all of these areas, even just here in like, the opening, that you can't go to because, like, you try opening this door, it's locked.
Yeah.
You need, an emblem of a helmet is carved into the lock, so you're like, okay, so I've got to find the helmet key, and then you've got to find the sword key, and then you've got to find the armor key. So even though the house itself isn't very big, it seems gigantic because of the way they lock off certain sections, and you can only get to them after you've progressed a certain amount in certain other areas. So it's kind of like an onion, actually. You're sort of peeling layers
So this is
and getting closer and closer to the onion. So
this inspired Shrek, is what you're saying.
where is that zombie? Oh, there he is. Oh, okay. Should I die? I may possibly die here.
Oh, you have like no health? There's a blue thing on.
Yeah. I am going to take that and use it, and we'll just pop the zombie. Actually, I'm just going to back up and wait until he gets here, because I can't actually hear him.
Can you aim up to shoot him in the head like when he gets closer or anything? Oh, you can.
Does that get him?
Yep,
Okay, there we go!
You got a trophy, and you curb stomp that person.
See, so there's the blue jewel in this person's hand, and this is from the original 90s version, where you just got to push it all the way to this open gap so that you can push it back down onto the first floor. That's how you get the jewel. And there it goes. It was also an incredibly low-res statue as far as.
I think you'd just be able to climb up and take it.
Yeah, you'd think, but it's like video game mechanics. That's not the way it goes. So. I still just can't get over another thing about playing this game over again that's sort of really surprised me is just how effective the fixed camera is. I mean, I really actually like their choice of camera angles to present these creepy cinematic angles that actually do add a certain amount of tension into the game, as opposed to these days when you play most action games and you always know that you're just going to be staring at the character's back, going through the hallways and stuff like that. There's a certain lost art, I think, to just this whole idea of.
Oh, it's definitely an art, because you also have to balance it between the gameplay as well, because you don't want to be frustrating people with the play control when you're doing it.
Yeah.
But it does lead itself to some cinematic things that are a little harder to execute in other games. So yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I think that we've probably been playing this for long enough. I
Yeah.
mean, it's Resident Evil, and it's like there are a lot of puzzles to get through, so we'll just end it off. I'm just going to end this off by like getting killed by a zombie.
Sounds good.
Since I know exactly where one is, because again, this much follows closely to the original PlayStation version. We'll just move this drawer out of the way, which is conveniently blocking the zombie back here. I like the way they set this up. So you go back here, and it's like, oh, hey, a knife, okay. You go and you grab that, get through the screen, and then you're like, I'll just leave. But no, there's something here. The camera angle doesn't change. She's slowly backing away. Why? Oh, there's a zombie.
She, of course, trips.
And she's down on that zombie's huge. Wow, look at how tall that guy is.
Big guys become zombies, too.
Yeah, that's true.
You
So
think?
I'm not even going to fight back. I'm just going to be like, okay, it's just, this one is for Romero. She actually.
Oh, you know what'd be
stabbed him.
terrifying?
Did she stab him in the head?
I think she did.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
no, wait,
she's
he's
fi-
back up again.
The knife's still there.
It's still there. Okay. All right, bye, Jill. Just it's
Yeah.
like, see you. Just resistance is futile. Just go down. No. One more time. Yes. No. Come on. Let's go, Jill.
Yeah, speaking of like giants, do you think it'd be terrifying to like, if you went to like WWE like Raw or whatever, or like WrestleMania, and all the wrestlers became zombies?
I'd pay money for that.
No, but I mean, like, how terrifying do you think that would be? Like, if you had to like escape from WrestleMania, well, all the wrestlers are zombies.
The best part about that would be it's like if the wrestlers tried wrestling each other and literally ripping limbs off,
Oh,
which you don't ordinarily get in wrestling.
Yeah.
And there we go.
That's
That's Resident Evil.
Resident Evil.
Zombie wrestlers.